work we're sat in is called Cosmos, and it's by Micheal Craig-Martin, and it's been produced with Micheal Craig-Martin directing. The video is a vector animation produced by Daniel Jackson, and the composition and sound design was by me. It features, I think, 364 individual objects of Michael's work, which he's drawn over 60 years of his career. And they've been animated to form this immersive work. What happened in working with Michael was the opportunity for sound, and it's something that I jumped on. I took very careful consideration about being involved in, and basically put my hat in the ring and said that I wanted to be involved as composer and sound designer. And amazingly, Michael agreed without having heard any of my work. And it was a real collaborative project, and it's grown. I think because of that close collaboration, it's really, really strong, and we're really proud of what we've done. What's interesting particularly is that we have a certain amount of restrictions with working within a grade 2 style listed building. We couldn't fix speakers onto the walls directly because everything's a projected surface. So we needed to be able to hide speakers. It's part of the immersive experience that you're not really distracted by where the sound is coming from. The sound is natural to the room. But that also meant that we couldn't put speakers exactly where we wanted. So what we did, and in partnering with PMC, was working out a bespoke system that would work for the room. And then I composed to that system. So rather than it being this is a distinct Dolby Atmos array, what we've got is a bespoke sound system. My strength is in synthesis, and a bit like Michael's drawings, they're not real objects, they're just representations, two-dimensional. And so my first start was to synthesize physical objects, and then we developed the animations together, but the core sound design and composition didn't happen until a month ago. So it's all really quite fresh, and we produced a lot of work in that time. And amazingly, some of my first compositions Michael really liked, and there wasn't much steerage, which is a pleasure. It's been a dream project, and I still like the music that I've made, which is unusual as well. We're really proud of the project. I've used PMC in studio settings for years, in fact, and when you're referencing mixes and things like that, you know that what you're putting in, you're hearing in the speakers. And that really helps in a situation like this, where we're placing speakers actually really quite far from the ideal listening position. I suppose an important factor in the composition and where we've placed speakers is that you're never more than 3 meters from a speaker, any pair of ears, but also compositionally, there's different things to hear depending on where you are in the room. And that was really important. And each speaker has an equal billing. So there's no like peripheral speakers in this. Each one is a really strong compositional voice compared to the next speaker. And when we're using a range of PMC speakers from the CI65 down to the CI30, they're still performing, and the performance matches. At the Royal Academy, we've never had an AV installation of this scale where we've taken up an entire gallery for a single artwork. It's never happened. And so there's been lots of technical challenges in terms of rigging the projectors. As I mentioned, the grade 2 style listed building, you have to be really careful about how we install equipment. Where we position the speakers has been really important. This CI range has meant that we can place them in unusual places and still ensure quality sound.
We've incorporated a URC system into this control system, and that allows the whole Cosmos artwork to be turned on and off by the staff with just a press of a single button. So now we have not only a setup stage where we've got control over each channel of the PMC, being able to just simply mute it to check certain channels and the installation process, but also with the calibration and playback, we can get everything synced and in time with how it's designed to be played back. But in this environment, can't fault it. The speakers, as always, are just make you smile when you turn them on. They're very tolerant speaker, but when you ask them to jump, they jump, and exactly how you ask them to jump, more importantly.
We've been extremely lucky with the people that we've partnered with, including PMC and Epson and Vis-A-Vis, who did the technical design and installation. And we've just been really, really lucky with the development of the project. Like, things that don't usually happen on a project have fallen into place on this, and it's made it really relaxing and enjoyable. And for me, in my position as head of audio visual, we're trying to present the gold standard AV install, and we've achieved that, which is fantastic. The responses to it have been really interesting. I wouldn't say mixed, but actually wholly positive. We've had some tears in the galleries, people saying that they found it really overwhelming. One of the things Michael and I have discussed is that obviously you take away what you bring with you. The objects don't really tell a narrative, and the music is kind of cyclical and not overly emotive in some ways, but it builds tension and releases tension. And I suppose the scale and the quality of the sound touches people in a way.